Hey y'all, welcome to Crown Reads, where I do messages for the collective for our highest good. Um, I use oracle cards only here, sometimes divination tools, but for the most part for these readings, I will be using the oracle cards. I've already meditated and actually, honestly, I actually did a reading before this. So if you're ever on my page, you may watch these back to back, or if this one just happens to pop up on your feed, this one might be where the message is because the previous reading that I just did was about any information for the collective that could be helpful to help you reach your highest timeline, your next timeline. It's getting in the way of you reaching your next timeline, whatever it may be. And it was very clear when they were done with that message. But as soon as I stopped recording, they wanted me to keep the same question but pull more cards. So I'm assuming there's an additional message, not additional, maybe a different one for some other people to see and receive about what can get them to their highest timeline or their next timeline. So just kind of mulling over because I didn't expect this. Okay. Ooh, heat. Okay. Really hot. Okay. When you start moving timelines, you might overheat. Don't freak out. You know you might want to do it when you're meditating to do it, when you're feeling a heat and a tingly feeling. Just start drinking a lot of water. That's what I just got. Drink a lot of water. It's wanted me to pull from the same deck as the last one. I just keep looking at it. So this is the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. Artwork by Jennifer Hawkyard. I don't think I've ever said the artwork before. Kind of feel like the first time noticing that name. And these cards are beautiful. So definitely want to make sure we're making space for acknowledging that as well. Also, why did that just pop out this time? Artwork. Okay. Somebody, you're going to access your timeline through your creativity. Whatever artwork medium you use or whatever you're supposed to be putting your creative energy into it, that opens you up in a different way. I can almost just kind of see like, I see like a head. If you ever see like a grid of like a human, and it's showing you like a medical grid or something, it's not features, but it's just like an outline. And I'm seeing like little lights as if your head had a grid on it, like a bunch of squares. And each square has like a little light on like one of the points of it, one of the four ends of it, which is what's happening right now. So that's what's happening to your brain when you be creative. And all of that sends out a signal into the ethers. And that opens you up more. They get your energy being projected out. They get familiar with your energy and they pull you on over. It helps pull you on over to the other side. I also don't know why I'm saying they, because it feels like it's something that we go to, or you can be energetically pulled to. But I said they're pulling you. So this deck does speak of like otherworldly beings. So if this card is something like that, then that was the they. So let's see what we got here. Okay, Akashic Stargate. So nothing with specific people, but aligned with purpose, crossroads, and no wrong path. They're telling me to read it. All right, gotcha. Okay. Akashic Stargate. A stargate is a portal that can take us through space and time to a whole other universe. It's based on the concept of the Einstein-Rosen bridge, of what is also known as a wormhole, where a speculative structure linking different points of space-time is created. In spirituality, a stargate is less about traveling on the physical three-dimensional level and more about making progress on the spiritual. A feature of many spiritual traditions is the idea that all of us have a stargate in our heart that connects us with the central lattice of consciousness. Wow. Okay. So I know how you all will recall I was just saying about how I see like a grid and things are like pinging off. So when they said central lattice of consciousness, they use the divine matrix as like an example here. It looks very similar to what I was picturing. So I just want to show that alignment there. I'll finish reading this and then show you the divine matrix. So let me start that sentence over. A feature of many spiritual traditions is the idea that all of us have a stargate in our heart that connects us with the central lattice of consciousness. The Buddha acknowledged we were the universe, while Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. The Akashic Stargate transports us to a space where we are given the opportunity to make a decision to accelerate the realization of our life purpose. Okay. Accelerating, yes. Timeline stuff. To connect, visualize yourself at a crossroads. Tune into the direction that feels most joyful, light, and loving. Imagine yourself walking that road. See all that it brings you. Your message is, whenever the Akashic Stargate is presented to you, it's because you are at a critical point on your journey. You have the opportunity to move in a particular direction and you have to make a decision. This can feel overwhelming and you may be waiting for someone or something to make the decision for you, but you aren't here to walk a path that was set for you. You're here to walk a path that you have chosen. The next phase of your journey cannot unfold until you decide which way to go. Know that whatever direction you take and whatever decision you make, you'll always be on the right path. No matter how you get there, you'll always end up in a similar space. Also know that purpose isn't about doing your duty. It's about living life and experiencing joy. You have been approaching some of your spiritual work as a duty, so you can do the timeline jumping stuff. It's about living life and experiencing joy. You creating helps you live life and experience joy. See, I was drawn to shaking the table here, drawn to that creativity piece of things beforehand. So you maybe have been doing a lot of meditating and a lot of spiritual work and a lot of maybe rituals and things like that. And you're doing all of these things externally to try to make something happen that has to come from the internal. Hence that the central lattice of consciousness and acknowledging where the universe is and the kingdom of heaven is within you, whichever belief system you have. So it's within you. So your creativity is part of your light, your expression. It projects energy out of us. When we create, we're putting life and energy into something else. And you know how I said I saw the things pinging out of your head? That is it. The more you create, the more that's going to happen. So come away from duty and doing, let me do these rituals so I can do this. Let me be me. Let me create. Let me experience joy. That joy is going to open me. And that's going to get me moving the way that I want to. Now, they're not giving me a message about this direction piece. It could be that to make the decision piece, but direction might mean something. Take that. Might have been a slip for a reason. I don't know if the decision is like you are choosing between like doing something that's maybe not as productive or doing something creative, and you end up doing the kind of non-productive thing or the thing where you just kind of veg out versus something that kind of wakes you up and breathes some life into you. That might be the decision you have to make to consciously do something different that you wouldn't usually do, especially if your creativity creates anxiety for you. Make sure you're not falling into perfectionism. It's about the experiencing of the joy of it, not about any kind of outcome. Yes, you're too focused on an outcome. You just have to experience. Because you get into your next timeline and you have to experience it. That is the outcome, is a new timeline. So once you get there, what are you going to do? Just focus on the next timeline? Then we're not learning what we need to from that timeline. We're not experiencing the joy we need to that's going to keep us moving forward. We're not pulling out the lessons we may need to get from this version of this timeline. So if you're only focused on the outcomes, once you get there, what's next? So you have to tap back into the joy and the experience of things. And your creativity is going to help you with that. So, yes. All right. Creativity does not have to be an art medium. For me, because I'm not necessarily leading me to share this, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily an artist in any way. I can do a decent amount of drawing. I can, kill a game of Pictionary, but that's really not my thing. I don't really like paint or do any kind of artwork with my hands or sculpt or anything like that. I've learned that my creativity at different phases in my life, it has come out in like doing nails, like my nail designs. It's come out in food. It's come out in fashion. So just know that your creativity doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm sitting down doing a piece of artwork. It can be that, oh, I'm just going to wear these things I never wear that I'm always saving because these pieces do feel special. And then when I do wear these things, I feel more creative or more like myself, or I want to do more. I want to dress one like, oh, what is the new thing I can put together? And now the juices are flowing. So you just want to pull something out of what you've usually been doing to just kind of spark something and get you going a little bit differently. So just know it's not saying, oh, we'll sit down and draw, especially if you're not led to do that right now. But just do anything that gets the mental juices flowing. Whatever that looks like in your world is going to be up to you. But they want you to experience more and access a little bit more joy. And that's going to catapult you a little bit more. Oh, I just remembered. I was supposed to show you the Divine Matrix when I saw that like head grid. I think they said it was page 64. I think I remember that, right? Oh, it's not the best picture of it. But that is like what the Divine Matrix looks like. Blurry. We'll try to bring up a picture of it, but I'm recording on the thing I'd show you a picture of. Okay, let me see if I can find the card quickly. If I can, it's meant for me to show it to you this way. If I can't, I'll leave it. I don't know why. I don't like sorting through my decks for like a specific card. I don't know. I feel like it throws off the energy. Here we go. So I said if I find it pretty easily, I'll leave it. So there we go. That's the Divine Matrix. So I was imagining instead of these kind of curves, I was seeing squares, but this could have been what it was meant to look like because it was just in my mind's eye. And remember how I said at different points of it, it's like these little things of light and they just beam out of your head. So these are kind of like what the points looked like to me, but they were on the corners of the squares. So there was something with that. So reaching a certain level of consciousness for you is going to be very important. And you get there with your creativity, not structured rituals. Ease up on the rituals. You're too focused on outcomes. You're not tuned into them. You're like, oh, let me do this. Okay, I've done this. This is right. This is good. I feel things. I feel spiritual, but you're still a little bit too focused on outcomes and expectations. So I would say to work on that a little bit more. Seeing if they want me to read anything else. One more. This is from the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. I know my decks. Not sure where they're going with this one, but I'm eager to see. And it's shuffling weird too. It's very clunky. Usually doesn't feel like that. Strange. Maybe they just want me to pull a card instead of having a jumper. Okay. Cosmic power. Okay. All right. See that one there? That's the sheen on it. That's not great for the glare. I don't know if I ever showed you that one. Or view of that one. And we got the starriness too, kind of like I saw in the squares in your head in these mirrors. Mirrors. Okay. Something's happening. Okay. Mawa Lisa. This is the God and Goddess of Cosmic Power. They're from the Temple of the Threshold Guardians, and their element is air. Mawu Lisa is the force of Mother, Father, Goddess. Mawu is the moon, the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun, the divine masculine. They came together during a fawn eclipse to create cosmic power. You are in the right place. They keep emphasizing this right place, right path, no wrong path, always in the right direction, having to choose a direction. So this message is really doubling down about being in the right place, something you got to trust. Okay, so you are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. You are sacred. You are magic. Now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. The embodiment for this is rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. Stop pretending to be less than you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Oh, I love it. Come through divine. So as I was saying earlier, you keep doing all these external things to make it happen. They just said, that's not it. So your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same force that birthed the sun and the moon. My power shines forth from within. Yes, man, just go easier. Go easier. Just start creating, doing something fun, doing the things that make you happy. I know this sounds probably a little cliche, but that's really what opens things up. The way you're approaching it now, it's like you're studying for a test. Yes, that's what they gave. It's like you're studying for a test. And if you've been in any kind of traditional school, and especially if you're American or from a westernized nation, you know how like taking a test, you are learning that information. They just want us to regurgitate information. There's not a lot of focus on sparking creativity and critical thinking and all of those kind of things. So with knowing that's the case, you're just studying for this one thing, to learn this, to regurgitate this information so they can say you're good enough to go to the next level. And that's how you're approaching this, and that is not how this works. So, yes, there isn't any right steps enough that you do. That's just going to help you do this in the way that you would need to. And schooling and learning that way actually closes us, because we're just focused on this one way of receiving the information, seeing it one way, and just putting it back out just so we prove that we know it. It's not opening anything up when we learn. When we're learning, we don't necessarily mean we're open. So we can just be taking in information. So that's what they want you to do more of. Get creative. And creativity does not have to mean an art form. It can mean doing anything. You can go outside, find it's still a little warm now, September here, just starting. So soon the leaves are going to turn. You can go outside, grab a bunch of leaves, and put that somewhere as decor in your house, and that's creativity. Especially great because you're using nature. Or you can do some kind of art project with those. So it's just whatever it is, just pulling on something like, hey, this is not what I originally was going to do or use this for or engage in this with, and I'm just going to do something different than planned. You're officially creating. So also expand your mind of what creation means, or being creative, or what creating means, because that might be why you were more stuck on the ritualistic part of things and really trying to complete the steps the right way to make it happen and get it done for you, because you were looking at it from that perspective, and maybe not understanding what creativity looks like for you if you're like me and you don't draw, or you don't paint, or you don't do art in these more traditional ways that people see it. So anything that makes your brain work and fire off a little bit differently is causing creativity. So just find your ways of doing that and do more of that. Rituals are always nice. They love how disciplined you are. They need you to open and release. You got the discipline down. You know how to focus. You know how to get structured. They need you to just enjoy. So show them that side of you too. They like it. Two sides of you. I'm sorry, I just heard a weird noise. And I paused there. Two sides of you. I've already put the card back, unfortunately, but that was because it was there it is. It was the number two. Two people in it, moon and sun. So they want to see the other side of you. They got the ritualistic. You are focused. You are disciplined. You're committed. They know you know it. They know you want it. They need you to start feeling. Yeah. The other side of you, the two sides, the sun and the moon. Oh, love it when it comes together. All right. So we'll go ahead and wrap up there. I think that's it for the messages. Yes. Give me a second. They're not saying to pull another card, but. You're not confused. You know. You're not confused. You know what path to take. Don't hyper focus on purpose and what purpose is supposed to look like. Just start getting happy. That's what it was. They had one more message, but not a card. You got too focused on purpose. That might also align with what I said earlier about getting too focused on outcomes. So those things might be related. You're in your purpose already. Don't know who that was for. You're in your purpose already. Just start creating. That must be a nice thing to hear and have confirmed. So we'll go ahead and wrap up there. Like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever it is you might want to do there. Hopefully these messages were helpful. I am going to end things here. And you're just about there. Just start feeling and getting creative. You got to do the joy, the wavy part. You in the structure, get wavy. All right, y'all. Have a good one.